giờ thử có thôi cho nó đừng có chờ trên bờ nó chứ
We're about to turn
phải chơi nó phải
right
chơi đi
into
có
the
tôi
eastern
thôi được
channel of
không
the launch.
nó
So
kỹ
all
đó
this
nó
down here is part of the Port of Seattle, that building we noted earlier that is in charge of both the seaport and the airport. And Seattle doesn't act alone anymore.
bây giờ là chỉ cho biết một
2015,
kiếp phố là họ chơi
Seattle
chơi
and
cùng là
Tacoma
này
joined together instead of trying to compete against each other for business. And so there's the Northwest Seaport Alliance now. And so they refer to Seattle as the North Harbor and Tacoma, which is about an hour south here by car, as
nó
the South
chơi
Harbor.
chơi cho nên cái thả lâu
And
luôn
together they're the fourth
Có
largest
đó,
container
đó là-
gateway in North America.
ô rồi cho biết mình chạy thì
2017, last year I have data for, is they had 1,800 vessels come through here.
I don't know
And about $16.2 billion of exports coming through the Seattle Tacoma ports.
do từ bao
Perhaps the most notable thing here that most people latch onto is these giraffe-looking things. I've also heard people who are Star Wars fans refer to them as AT-ATs or AT-ATs, depending when you got into Star Wars, how you call them.
I don't know
These are gantry or container cranes. This is how we load vessels like the container ship out there. If the gantry's down, they're about 200 feet tall, but as you can see, when the gantry's raised all the way up, it can be about 400 feet tall. They're not built locally, they're actually built in their entirety and shipped over here from China. So they'll build the entire
có
thing in
từ
China.
trả luôn rồi nhá
And then
bố
they'll
sổ
take a
có
heavy
sổ
lift ship. This is a lift ship is a vessel that acts kind of like a dry dock, but is a ship.
nó
It can be submerged or carry large vessels on top of it.
từ cháo nó nhá
Launch
bố
it
sổ
through the completed crane and weld it directly to the back of the
chỉ
ship.
cần trên tại đâu muốn rồi
About 5
Cái
weeks
gì
to get
nữa?
one of those over here after it's built. They'll bring it over here, they'll cut it off
lúc
the
nào
back,
mình mua nó phải mua
and
to
then
hơn
put it
đó
into position here. In just a moment, we'll be able to see it. If you remember talking about those windows on the Space Needle and that glass floor you can walk out over, the sun is giving us a
ô
hard
rồi chỉ
view
có thả
there.
lết thì nó đâu
Right
tiêu
down the middle of this, you might notice a glass gondola there. That's where the crane operator sits, and it's not stationary. When this gantry comes down and they're loading, that gondola comes out with the lift all the way out over the vessel that they're working on. Quite an interesting job. It's a very sought-after job, though, too. In 2015, 15,000 people applied for the lottery to get a position as one of those crane operators. Of those 15,000 people, only 326 were selected. That's about 2% of the applicants actually got a chance to become a crane operator. Crane operators are members of the Longshoremen's Union, and there's a reason those jobs are definitely in demand. With average salaries over $160,000. The ships usually last about 2 to 6 hours, is what I'm told, and that's so that you don't get vertigo and don't get burnt out. You're moving a lot of very expensive cargo, and with complex maneuvering, you have to get it in the right place so you can take off at the right port. You don't want to load things on top of
thì nó
containers that are going to one port.
thế chẳng không nó lo tiêu
So there's actually a lot of work.
nhớ đến đây chỉ bao thì nó lo một cháo tôi cho nó lo tiêu đúng nó ô
Kind
sẽ
of the
tiêu
real hero of the modern shipping story
ô
is all these
shipping
containers
story
here. It was about the 50s going into the 60s when a entrepreneur, a trucking entrepreneur, started thinking there has to be a better way than loading all these kegs or barrels or individual bags of cement, when I'm transferring cargo. So I started experimenting with metal containers. And so as an upshoot from that, we have the modern containers, and this is a worldwide standard. It's called, containers are intermodal, and that's basically covering the fact that they can be taken on semis, they can be easily transitioned to trains, and then of course taken on ships, all in the same container, which makes the shipping easy. There are those two sizes of containers, those small containers. That's a 20-foot long container. And that's what the standard is, the TEU, the 20-foot equivalent unit. So if you have a container ship that's measured in TEUs, the first container ships carried about 500 of those small containers. Some of the larger modern ones can carry 18,000 of